Woohoo! Have you seen this yet? It is the Cricut Hat Press, and I just received mine. They've only been out for a couple of months. I'm so excited to use this. It's still sealed. I haven't even opened it yet. So we're going to open it up, get it going, and make a hat today. Thanks for joining me. All right, are you ready? I am so excited. I love hats. I wear them all the time, especially when I'm outside working in the garden or on my walks in the morning, and I'm so excited to make my own. So let's go ahead and open this up. Like I said, I haven't even broken the seal on it yet. Go ahead and open that. Ooh. There we go. All right, so looks like we have our little instruction book. And I'm not going to go through everything in here because I know that there's a lot of videos already showing you how to do it. But there's your Let's Get Started guide and your little instructions. Some more instructions. The actual heat press with the cord, a really heavy-duty 3-prong cord. That will be nice. It does have a little bit of a wrapper around there, so we'll remove that. This is the stand, so you can see how big this is compared to my hand. It does come with some strong grip heat tape. And then this part is your hat form. And that does have a little bit of heft to it. So they say that this is made out of walnut shells. And so be careful if you're allergic to it. I actually am allergic to walnuts, but we're going to give it a try anyway because everything I've read and heard about it, it should be fine. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a try. All right, so I did go ahead and unwrap everything. Here is the hat form, and it has a handle on the back. Oh, there's some little tags there. Just has a little handle on the back so that when you're forming the hat, that just makes it a little bit easier to hold on to, and then when you're pressing the hat as well. We also have the hat the heat press, the hat heat press, and I've plugged it in. It's not turned on yet, but I did go ahead and plug it in. And then the base that it sits in while it heats up and cools down. I also opened up the tape, and inside was this little star that's from vinyl. So it's ready for a practice run. I've seen lots of videos with this one already, so I'm not going to use this. I went ahead and cut out some vinyl myself that says "Be Kind." This is one of my designs that you can get at Paper Closet Designs. And then I have a hat. This is actually just a hat that I bought off of Amazon. So I've got some Cricut hats and we'll use those as well. But for the very first one, I'm just going to practice on this cheaper one. And then you will want to download the Heat Press app on your phone. So let me get logged in here. There we go. So we are going to just jump right in. It says set up, so I'm going to go ahead and set it up. And we have to turn this on. And the bottom one is your power, that little button with the thermostat. That's how we're going to turn it on. And it says available heat presses, the hat press, we're going to connect. And through Bluetooth, it's going to find it. It says activate heat press, and we want to go, we have to agree to the terms and use. And we're going to go ahead and activate it. And it looks like it's going to take it just a minute to get going. It's ready to go. I've got the heat press going. It's warming up. Here's my hat form. I've opened everything up. Here's my hat. This is just from Amazon. And then my heat press that I'm going to use, my iron-on. And I've also got my app going and our tape, and I grabbed a pair of scissors to pull this tape off, I guess. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit Start a New Project. And the transfer material that we want is the Everyday Iron-On, so I'm going to go ahead and select that. And then the hat is a cotton poly blend, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Then we're going to do Next. And it's telling us that we need to preheat our blank for 5 seconds, and then we're going to press for 60 seconds, and then we're going to do a cool peel, and that it's going to heat it up to 330 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and send settings to Hat Press, and that is going to go ahead and heat up, and it already was pretty much heated up. So one of the things that I do want to tell you is with the heat press, to set it up, you do need to have your mobile device, either a tablet or a phone. But once it's set up, you can use the guide in the app, but you don't have to. So we're going to go ahead, and I've opened up my hat in the back, and we're going to pull all of the sweatband or the liner or anything. We're going to pull that out, and we're going to just place that nice and tight on the form. I'm going to turn it over and make sure my sweatband is pulled out completely all the way around. This is my first attempt, people, so let's see what happens. Can't be difficult, right? And then once we've got that on there or opened up, we're going to go ahead and cinch the hat down really tight on there. Okay, let's turn it over, make sure it's all nice and tight. It is. And then we're going to flip it up, and I'm just going to take that heat press, and I'm going to heat my hat for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the Cricut instructions say to move the hat back and forth. I've watched a few videos, and some people say that they don't do that. Some people say that they do. So we've done that. I'm going to go ahead and hit skip. And then we're going to take our little iron-on vinyl, and I'm going to just place it right on top of my hat. There are some instructions on how big to make this. You don't want your design to be any taller than 4.5 inches, and you don't want it any wider. Excuse me, let's start over. You don't want it any taller than 2.5 inches. You don't want it any wider than 4.5 inches. So we're going to go ahead and press that down, and it's not quite, because it's a curved object, I'm going to put what's called release cuts in it, and that's where I just take the scissors. I'm not cutting the vinyl, I'm cutting that carrying sheet, just so that I can work it around the curved edge of the hat. Also, while I'm doing this, something to keep in mind is when you cut your vinyl, you're going to want to make sure that you mirror it, because you'll cut it this side up, the backing side up, so you'll want to mirror it so that when you turn it over, it's running in the correct the correct direction. Okay, so we're going to just line it up right over there over that seam, and I'm going to press those down as best I can. This will move, so that is why we have this strong grip heat tape. And I haven't used it before, so trying to find the end. There we go. Let's cut that little piece off. Oh, so I'm cutting this end piece off. And then we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to actually cut it with my scissors. I think I might end up buying me a tape dispenser. That would probably be a little bit easier. We're just going to tape that down really well. The next end, yeah, I can see why a tape dispenser would be a good idea. And doesn't matter where the tape goes, it can go over your design, not a problem. I may change that up just a little bit because it's kind of bubbling. trying to work around the camera stand and it's hard to see everything it's doing. So let me turn this and face me a little bit. Make sure that that's all down there nice and tight. We don't want any wrinkles in the vinyl. The carrying case, it's okay if there's a little bit of a wrinkle, but the vinyl, you actually don't want any wrinkles on there. Okay, so my app shut down. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and pick up our heater, our heat press. I'm gonna lay it right on there, and then I'm gonna push this green flashing button, and it is gonna start the timer. And there's my timer. I don't know if you can see all this. It says 60 seconds, we're down to 50, and I'm gonna just move this back and forth along the hat. And I'm glad I started with a solid color and a smaller design while I learned this. I'm really excited. I think this is gonna be great. But your first one, I can see why they send that little star. It's good to just get some practice. Okay, so while we're doing this, let me tell you a couple of things that I have, that I know about this and what Cricut says. So the first one is you don't want to put an image on your bill. You can, but it can warp the bill or make it, you know, wrinkled or break it down. Okay, so now it says I'm done. And we're gonna do a cool peel. So I'm just gonna let that cool for a minute. I wanna kind of check and see if it looks like everything's stuck on there. And it did. Okay, so we're gonna let that just set. So we're talking about the brim. They suggest that you don't put anything on the brim. However, I have seen some videos where some people have done it, so I might try one just to see what happens. The other thing is, now I can't remember what I was gonna say. Okay, that is still kind of hot. I did mention that you don't have to use the app. You can just do it, just turn the heat press on and do your own thing. So that is still a little warm. And then you'll definitely want this strong grip tape. And there is a difference between this and the other heat press tape. The other one was used for, well, they brought it out when they did the infusible ink. But if it's on a flat surface and you're not moving the press, that one will work. But where you're moving the press a lot, you'll need this strong grip tape. And it looks like they send you a pretty good starter pack. And then I have, over here in my box, I bought another one. I was going to show it to you really quick. So there is the one that I bought. So it's a little bit bigger roll. And so we have two of them. This is your heat resistant. This is the one that you will use with an easy press. And then this is the strong grip, and this is the one that you'll use with your hat press. All right, let's see. It's still a little bit warm, but we're going to go ahead and pull it just to kind of see what it did, and if we need to press it again. So let's just pull that up. Oh, it's looking really good, and it did it right over the seam and everything. Okay, so there's one little spot where it didn't. I'm going to put that down, because right there, it didn't do it. So I'm going to bring this back up, and I'm going to turn it back on, and I'm going to press again. I'm not going to do for the full 60 seconds, but I do think I'll do it for a little bit, maybe half the time. I'm so excited to do this, to try some with layered colors and see how that goes. Okay, so that was 30 seconds. Let's go ahead. I'm going to pause the video while this cools down, and then I'll come back when that is cool, and we'll peel it and see what happened. All right, so I let this cool down for about 10 minutes. It feels cool to the touch. Let's go ahead and take the tape off and see what happens. Let's start over here. And that is looking really good. Even that spot that I was a little bit worried about has stuck down. Okay. Well, it looks like we have one little piece that lifted right there maybe. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And there is my Be Kind hat. Oh, I love it. I am so excited. This is going to be a fun new tool to add to my arsenal. Thank you for joining me today. This was a first time try. I will make some more videos once I get the hang of it and show you how easy this is. But thanks for joining me today. Please hit subscribe down below, give me a thumbs up, and have a great day.